Good afternoon, everyone, and we are live at the Lansing Eastern Stadium here in our state's capital, Lansing, Michigan. And tonight we got a friendly matchup here it's a battle of the LCFCs as Lansing Common FC takes on Livonia City FC. My name is Noah Stalker. It's been a minute since I've been here.
Yeah, you've been gone for a while, Noah.
Yep, I'm here with Josh Lee on color. I'll be doing play-by-play for this friendly matchup for the Robins. And it's the first day of summer, and it's an absolute scorcher.
Yeah, it's miserable up here in this booth. It's a very windy day, no wind for us, 90-plus degrees. It is boiling today.
That is right. It feels like a death trap in here. I don't know how, and hopefully it's not the same outside on the stadium or outside on the field.
The turf has got to be at least 100-plus degrees today. They got to be on fire on their feet.
Yeah. But thankfully, it's only a friendly matchup today. No serious stakes so far in this game. That will come next week on Sunday. But you could still treat this game like an actual legit game, even if the stakes aren't there.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. Livonia City, team that used to play in this division with Lansing Common and all the other teams, had some troubles behind the scenes. It took them down a level. Thankfully, they're afloat. They're still being able to play soccer at a competitive level. So, may not bring any points into this one, but it's definitely a matter of pride, especially according to on Livonia City's FC's Facebook page, how I figured out the players for this one. It's a battle for I-96, the road that you can take from Livonia to Lansing. So it should be an interesting one, and some former players for Lansing Commons on Livonia City, some of the players we've seen before in previous games, including Seth Russ. So it should be an interesting one tonight.
That is right, and they're just about ready to get the game started, just getting the formalities out of the way before we get started.
Should be a good one today. I mean, the Robins are flying high right now. I mean, they're coming off of a big win against 1927 SC in Fort Wayne, coming off a 2-0 win. The one previous before that, the last time that we were on air, they got a huge come-from-behind win in Goshen City for a 3-2 win after being down 2-1, getting some penalty break and scoring both of them to take 3 points from a team that is on the hunt in third place in the division. Second place, Midwest United FC, who we will see here in July, and we're sitting at the top of the division, Noah.
Yeah, it's a great sight if you're a Robins fan. Looks like they're almost running away with the Great Lakes West. There is a team that is trailing them right now, not too far away, but so far, outside of one game where they drew, it's been all Lansing Common FC this season.
Yeah, completely. And the most important thing is that 1 point, that draw, came against the team that's in second place on the road. So it's Midwest United FC's under-23s are going to have to come here to Lansing Eastern to play against this team, Coach Sorg, and the philosophy of pressing and all of that. They're going to have to come on the road. So it's going to be a fun one when that matchup comes. But most importantly, staying fit in this one. Some players that played earlier in the week on Thursday when they got that win against 1927, not playing today. But some guys that we do know their names are playing today.
Yeah, speaking of that, the starting lineup for Lansing Common FC are as follows. In net, instead of Brooks Boersma this week, it'll be Jackson Kiska and in net. Four backs in front of him will be Christian Trunk, Dylan Bott, Mason Winkle, and Kara Christensen. Ahead of them will be Joey Farhat and Santiago Contreras. Meanwhile, up front near midfield, we got as striker Andy Ignatovich and the two wingers on his sides. That will be Amir Shitia and Evan Marcos. Looking at the Discord, I got either the first name or the last name on the whiteboard. It's kind of messed me up a little bit here.
And then one guy that you forgot that you didn't mention is somebody that we haven't seen in a while, and he was talked about a lot early in my conversations with Coach Derby. Owen Resch.
Owen Resch, yep.
Somebody
he was right in the middle of there.
Someone that they raved about a lot is he's making his return to the starting lineup today. Some names that we have seen in the starting lineup, like Christian Trunk, Andy Ignatovich, who's starting up front today, who normally plays in that holding midfielder role. He's going to get a chance up top. Owen Resch, Joey Farhat, Dylan Bott, Mason Winkle appears at times. So it's going to be some names that we have seen before. A lot of names are on the bench that are names that we're accustomed to, like Ali Ahmad. Now there's more like Josh Maderi. there's some other ones there to appear and try and show what they're worth.
Right, that's the number. That's the big thing about these friendly matchups. There may be no stakes in the grand scheme of things in terms of like standings and points. It lets those people that usually don't see the field so often get their opportunity to make their bones, and hopefully maybe get a crack at the roster somehow during the season.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming down. We're officially at the halfway point through the season so far. Taking 13 points from 5 games, that's impressive. And keeping up the momentum, lots of fierce competition is going to be needed to ensure that every player remains sharp. Lots that's talked about, especially in soccer, is talking about sharpness. Making sure that you're sharp during games. And that competition amongst players in the squad can really keep that up, because if you're not sharp, you're not going to play when it comes time for these league matches, where at the end of the season, we're all hoping that we're going to be able to play for a championship for the Great Lakes Conference against the winners of Great Lakes East. So sharpness is going to be a big deal. So this competition, trying to set your standard, is going to be a huge deal today.
Yep, let's see if they can hone that sharpness today here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium, as Lansing Common FC is in their huddle right now, ready to kick things off here for the game.
Hopefully no one gets a turf burn if anybody goes in for a sliding tackle today.
That's going to sound like a nightmare, especially in this almost near the triple digits, somewhere in the low to mid 90s right now. At least it feels like it.
For being such a hot day, you know, what sounds really nice right now is maybe an ice cream or an air-conditioned house with some fans. There's a good amount of people that showed up to this one. Maybe the wind is playing a factor. Below us, there's some shade for the standings, but a good amount of people coming out for this one.
Yep, the other LCFC team, Livonia City, will be kicking off the first half in this friendly matchup. Referees are getting everything all sorted out. Whistle is blown, and we are underway here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. First few moments of the game here. Bouncing the ball all the way back over to the backs. Passes here and there, over on the edge now. Doesn't see an opening in front, so he's going to kick it right back to the goalkeeper. Try and reset and regroup. Oh, for a second it looked like it was won by Lansing. That's Andy Ignatovich who has it. Trying to maneuver his way around a couple Livonia City players, but it's going to be out. Luckily, it's still going to be a throw-in for Lansing. They still have possession of the ball here on the offensive third of the field.
See the damage they can do from throw-ins. They can essentially create a set piece from it.
Trying to wedge in, but that is blocked there by Lansing. Can't generate offense there. They're now trying to restake their claim as Farhat fights with it now. Now Livonia's going to slow down a little bit. A little dangerous passing. There's a couple of Robins that are about to swoop in and take that, but still in possession with it is Livonia. Here comes a kick that just loses all of its forward momentum and goes right to Christian Trunk. And now over to Owen Reish. Now back to Trunk as he heaves a kick over to the right side. Stops and pivots with goes for a pass, but it goes right to the feet of the Livonia goalkeeper. He picks it right up. He's about to just lightly toss it to the left side. About to reach a couple minutes into the first half, still a scoreless game here in this friendly matchup, as Livonia City looks for something to get started. Here's the pass getting pushed around his Trunk, and now we've got a whistle blown.
Maybe a little too aggressive on that one. I thought it was a fair, clean win of the ball. Maybe there was a little bit of a push in the back there, but I'm not sure. I thought that was a clean win. I think the pressing that normally comes from Lansing Common is being effective right now. See if they can continue that momentum.
Oh, meanwhile, the pass was stolen by Farhat, but it somehow bounces back to Livonia's possession. Just juggling with it at midfield now. Now they're going to regroup now on the defensive side. Bouncing it back and forth from left to right. Now here comes a big kick. Gonna land right to the feet of number 23 as he goes right to the middle now. Gets a pass and it is stopped by the defense. headed by, I believe that was Ignatovich, but it's going to bank all the way over to their defensive side. It's a ball sails just out of, no, not out of bounds. He stops it right in the nick of time. Ball is still live as we reach the 3-minute mark in the first half. Farhat has it now for the Robins as he goes backwards over to the left side. Here's a pass now over to Ignatovich. Now to Reish, who gives it back to Ignatovich. Ignatovich tries and gets it around just behind him. Goes out of bounds, still Lansing ball.
Lansing Common, we've talked about it before. The press is such a huge part of the identity into this team, and essentially Livonia City is doing a great job of counteracting it. On the flip side, Lansing, the Robins are not really pushing as hard as they normally have, especially in the league games. While we do understand this is a friendly, some signs that you want to see is that press still staying there regardless of who's in and who's out. You want that mentality to stay the same.
Well, here's a potential costly mistake. Luckily, the ball slithers its way over to the goalkeeper, Kiska. Looked like it was stolen by Livonia. Had a chance for something, but luckily there was no recipient on the other end to get the goal. Meanwhile, Winkle has it as he passes it over to the right side. Now it's going to go back to Winkle. I think it's going to go over to Trunk now. Trunk's going to race on over to midfield. Gets a pass over, past and out of his legs to Reish, and it is stolen by Livonia City. Player gets taken down as Farhat now corrals the ball on the right side. Now he's going to give it to Contreras. Contreras is going to slip it on over to Trunk. Now Trunk is galloping his way on the left side, gives it over to Shatia. Now back to Contreras. Contreras with a cross-field pass. Here comes something there for Ignatovich and is blocked by the defense. He's trying to get the rebound, nothing there. Still in control is Livonia as Ignatovich is just hustling his way to the ball, trying to get back the possession, but now it's going to sail out of bounds into the parking lot. Hopefully it doesn't hit that guy's truck.
That's my truck. What the heck?
Is that for real?
No, I'm not joking. That is my truck that just hit.
Oh, no. You're going to have a few choice words with them, aren't you?
Yeah, what the heck? That's my truck that Livonia just hit. All right, now I really hope that there's a goal for the Robins here.
Yeah, I better get one quick, get that payback. Luckily, there was no genuine damage. It just maybe just a little love tap over by on the bumper.
Hopefully not. I just got my truck fixed too.
That is actually honestly funny. I didn't realize that was.
No, that seriously is my truck. I can see my license plate too. Man, that better be okay.
That's funny. All right. Meanwhile, Livonia City is getting ready to regroup as we reach the 6-minute mark in this friendly matchup. Here's a big kick trying to get to midfield. Here comes another one. Ball's going to trickle on over. Trunk is going to race for it. Can't get it. Here comes an opportunity for Livonia. Here's a shot, and it's saved by Kiska.
They really use the wind. Livonia's having a love-hate relationship right now with this wind, even though we can't feel it up here in the booth. It is windy down there. Long balls aren't working, but it's stopping the momentum.
Here's another try, and it is stopped by Kiska as he makes another guy somersault out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be a corner kick for Livonia City.
As I was saying, the momentum, the long ball there that you saw, the players thought that was going to keep rolling, but the wind really stopped that right in its tracks. But the long ball that they're playing into the air, it's just knocking it down in the air. There is no momentum going with it. So that wind has been a really big factor this season in games that we've been able to watch, Noah.
That's right. Here comes the opportunity here for Livonia. Here's the kick, and it banks off the foot of a Robin. Here comes the chase for it. That's Ignatovich. He is sprinting his way over there. It looked like he had a shot, but nothing there. Just a little too slow on the fast break. It's going to be back to Livonia City. Meanwhile, we got a whistle blown. It looked like Shatia was tangled up with a Livonia player.
Yeah, just give him a little, not a too aggressive shove, nothing too crazy. Just give him a little shove in the back, went down. Kind of an easy call for the official. Little bit of a light call, but Livonia was pinned back in their own area. They needed something to reset.
Let's see if they can reset right here as Reach has it in the middle. Gets a pass over. No shot taken there as he gets tripped up. Gonna try and go for something, but they're gonna keep the ball away from the Lansing offense. Here's a big kick by Livonia right back. And is headed by Lansing. That was Mason Winkle with it right on the forehead. As Shatia's on the left side. Gonna try and make a man miss. Here comes a chance. Ignatovich just misses it. It looked like it was gonna go off a different player, but that was the first big scoring chance there for Lansing as we reached the 8.5-minute mark in the first half.
Nice little dink from Shatia on the left-hand side. Found space somehow, and Ignatovich had an easy chance. Just couldn't stretch the leg far enough. And I almost thought that the left back for Livonia City was accidentally going to hit it in his own net by the way he hit it off his foot.
That would have been disastrous.
Looked like he miskicked it.
I mean, you mentioned that this team has kind of been trying to stay afloat for the past couple of years. So something like that wouldn't sound too far-fetched with their bare-bones operation, but don't want to be too judgmental just yet. They've had a couple chances so far, but let's see if Lansing can try and nip it in the bud real quick as they're back on their offensive third. On the right side with it now is Marcos. He gives it right back over to Contreras. Bouncing it over to Winkle, and now he's right on top of the midfield logo. Now he's going to side now. Here comes a shot, and it goes right into the breadbasket of the Livonia goalkeeper.
Tia goes from one great cross to a mediocre one there. Probably wishing he could have that one back. Trying to put a little more curl on the ball for Andy Ignatovich to get a foot on it. Decent chances coming from the left-hand side. Wonder if that was an emphasis from Coach Sorg, trying to operate this left-hand side. Not much offense coming over to the side of Marcos.
Oh, here's a turnover here, but Reach can capitalize on that. The ball just sails right past his cleats now as Livonia's going to try and have a chance of their own. But Winkle's going to corral with it now, circling around over to now getting a pass over to Contreras. Now Contreras is racing around the motorboard of the logo. Now punching it over to the right side. Looking for a chance now. Unfortunately, it's going to go right to back to Livonia's goalkeeper. Oh, stopped right there. I believe that was Trunk on the right side now.
Tarek Christensen and Evan Marcos had a great idea there, trying to play Christensen up behind the defense.
That's right, it's Christensen, my bad. Here's Christian Trunk. Now as he gives it to Shatia. Shatia trying to dangle him a little bit. Loses possession of the ball, now back with Livonia. Now they're racing on the left side. Bounce it on over. Here comes an opportunity now for Livonia. As Winkle tries to stop it, and he does. Back in the possession with his Lansing. Now as Farhad on gets a pass over to Trunk. Trunk keeps the ball alive. Now he's going to get it over to Reish. Reish is angling on over to the right side. Gets a pass over, tries to go back to Reish with it was Ignatovich, but it's stopped right by a Livonia defenseman.
It seems as if almost Andy Ignatovich and Owen Resch are kind of doing a false nine role where they're flipping in between Owen Resch going up front, Andy Ignatovich kind of playing that center attacking mid role, but then they flip. So it seems as if they're kind of running with more midfielders in this, not a pure out-and-out goal scorer up front. Andy Ignatovich just having his chances today, just not being able to find one to go back to the back of the net.
Here's another offensive or scoring chance here as Ignatovich tries for a pass to Shatia. He was open, but it was intercepted by Livonia defense. Now they're going to try and regroup. Gets a pass right over to Shatia, across Shatia's side. Here's a little chip shot. Bounces off of Winkle. Now over to Bott. Now to Contreras. Wide open with it now is Marcos. Oh, now here comes Reish. Ball kind of escapes him a little bit, a little too far ahead of him as it sails right into the hands of Livonia's goalkeeper.
Owen Resch just had the right idea, trying to make his man miss, making moves inside, using the technical ability, gets past his defender, just too much of a heavy touch, easy for the goalkeeper to come out and claim. interesting to see what has transpired so far in the last 13 minutes. There's no real threat so far going forward, as you're not going to be playing with a striker. Just nothing there so far for the Robins.
Yeah, they've had a couple scoring chances in this first half. There was one big one earlier on, about 5 minutes earlier, but so far that's been the last one for the Robins. Let's see if they can try and do something. But right now they're back on the defense as Livonia looks to get a scoring chance of their own. But it is interrupted by Christian Trunk now. Now he gives it right to Shatia. Slowing down a little bit, tries to go for a crossfield pass on over to Marcos. Here comes Evan Marcos. He goes for a shot, and it sails over the upright and out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for Livonia. I believe that went over the uprights legitimately. I don't know if it looked different on your angle.
I think it might be 3-0 Lansing Common if we were playing American football.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's not the score that it's going to be right now. It's still going to be 0-0 in this soccer matchup as we've crossed the 14-minute mark of the first half in this friendly.
Looks like we got a couple subs coming in for Livonia City. Sadly, don't have numbers on names. I do have a roster in front of me for Livonia City. I just don't have numbers. So, sorry to Livonia City. I just don't know the numbers to name so far.
And one of the gripes that we have here in the booth, we want to try and make sure that both sides are equally represented, even though, like in this case, like it's a friendly matchup, but unfortunately we don't really have the rosters for them or the numbers that can correlate with the players. So we try our best at the very least.
We try our best. We try and give the recognition. We may be a Lansing Common affiliated broadcast booth, but we try our best to make sure that everybody's equally represented to give them their due.
Meanwhile, here's a shot by Livonia as the wind is gonna take it a little more to the left as it goes out of bounds. I saw that had some angle to it too.
Try to go for a cross there. Doesn't work. We're going to get a water break, and I'm not going to lie, Noah. I'm taking one with the players. I am hot in this booth.
Yeah, I just ran out of water in my cup. I'm going to try and refill that when I get the chance. But so far, as we head into this water break, it's still scoreless here as in the Lansing Eastern Stadium in this friendly matchup between Lansing Common FC and Livonia City FC.
This is the biggest water bottle that I have ever used in my life.
I've seen something bigger. My mom had one of those. She went on a trip to Moab about a couple months ago, and she had one that's about maybe twice the size of that.
To the viewers that have no idea what we are talking about, I was given this water bottle before I left to come here, and it is a massive water bottle. I would say this is what, 64 ounces, close to, in this water bottle. And man, is it needed. I've already gone through half of it, and I've
gone through this. Mine's not as big as yours.
No.
Volume-wise, it's just a...
It is a cool-looking water bottle, though.
It is. It's a Stanley. I don't know if it's officially one. I don't know if it's one of the off-brands. I got it as a Christmas present. It's a Detroit Lions team. The plating is iridescent, so I take it with me wherever I go, whether it's here, work, school, whatnot.
Yeah. Water breaks in each half. I'm sure there's going to be another one at the 30-minute mark. It is.
Yeah, it is an absolute scorcher. I remember when we first started. When the season first started, one of our higher-ups, Josh Pugh, mentioned like how the summers were going to be very, very, very hot here, and you're going to wish that you had the cooler weather that you had when we first started. Like in May, it felt like it was in like the 60s, like
we were wearing
low 70s.
We were wearing jeans and sweatpants.
I wore
hoodies.
a hoodie and blue jeans.
It was very cold.
Yeah.
Now it is a scorcher. We're all taking water breaks. We have a segment where we're talking about water bottles.
Absolutely.
That is how hot it is today.
But looks like play is about to resume as we head out of the water break. Lansing Common FC is going to have the throw-in chance here as we get play resumed.
Ref making sure that everybody has the same numbers if
Right.
necessary.
He's going to chip over the throw-in to Dylan Bott. Now here comes Contreras. Contreras makes a man miss as he goes for a pass over back to Bott. Oh, never mind. That's not Bott. That's that's Garrett Christensen, as I haven't really talked about for much in this game so far. Meanwhile, here's Mason Winkle on the right side. He's going to get a pass to a wide open Trunk. corrals the ball with it now to Shatia. Now Shatia makes a man miss as he spins out of that one. Now over to Resch. Resch as he crosses over to the middle of the field. Here comes a shot, and it goes left of the post and out of bounds.
Interesting change of emphasis to work it up the left-hand side with Trunk playing it into Shatia. And Shatia deciding what to do instead of cutting around to go into space up the left-hand side or cutting it back to the middle with Resch, Andy Ignatovich, whoever's playing that center attacking mid-roll to see what they can do. Great chance. Had acres of space. Even had a man to his right-hand side if he wanted to and opt to have a better chance to score. Took it himself. Had a beautiful curler on it. Just can't find the net.
All right, after the throw-in attempt, now Lansing regains possession with it. Now Dylan Bott has it for the Robins as he passes it over to Ignatovich. Ignatovich banks it off his cleat, and it's still in bounds now. Lansing looking for another scoring chance. There's Christensen, who gives it over to Bott. Now back to Contreras. Gives it right back to Bott. He's playing monkey in the middle with this Livonia player. Meanwhile, Marcos gets it banked off his cleat. Now he's going to try and go for a shot of his own. He's over on the right corner. Here comes the shot, and it is caught by the Livonia goaltender.
Great 1-2 workup play. Marcos going into behind the defender. Had a great chance, just not the quality on the cross that you would hope in that scenario. Had Andy Ignatovich in the box towards the middle. Shatia on that left-hand side. Had some chances, just couldn't find the number to make it work.
Meanwhile, Contreras is dancing with the ball now as he gives it to Marcos. Marcos gives it over to Christensen, who gives it to Farhat. Now over to Contreras as he loses possession of the ball. Here comes Livonia with it at midfield. Now he's going to angle around Contreras. Banks off of his knee. And off the head now is his Trunk. Trunk is now fighting with the ball right on the sideline. Ball is still in play. Livonia possession. Back to the right back. Now they're about to cross midfield again. Here comes Livonia FC on the right side. Reaching over to the right corner. There's a shot, and it goes right of the goalpost and out of bounds onto the track. I can't think of the words right now.
I think it was, see, the weather is doing it to us, man. We are powering through on this one. There is lots of heat exhaustion. More hit it off the toe of the foot. It just went out straight to the right. Probably going to want that one back. But you got to wonder maybe if the heat is setting in a little bit. Not only is it difficult to play on such a hot turf, I can only imagine the temperature it is on there, but what it does to the mind, what your mind does after playing through so much heat.
Meanwhile, Shatia looks a little disoriented of his own, but he's able to corral it and gives it to Trunk. Now Trunk flips it on to Ignatovich. Now here comes a setup, but it is intercepted by Livonia as the ball sails out of bounds. For a second, it looked like it was going to hit a player on the sideline, but it sails right above him across the bench, back on to where it hits or goes to the hands of a Lansing Common intern.
Yeah, that's Michaela Matza. Hold on to the ball.
All right, Winkle now gets the throw in from Trunk as he angles a pass over to Dylan Bott. Bott with it now at midfield. Gives it to Farhat. Now over on the right sideline with it is Christensen. Ball scampers around back to Christensen, who is going to return it to Bott. Shatia gets to the Trunk, who is open on the left corner. Here comes a shot. Can't get the setup as it goes off the leg of a Livonia back. Here comes Shatia with it to get the rebound. Back to Winkle. Winkle with a pass on to Resch. Resch is fighting with it. Still tries to get it, but is still in possession of Livonia. Gonna get to the goalkeeper. But acknowledges the shot. It bounces off the goalkeeper, but he's able to stop it from behind. That was a prime opportunity by Ignatovich, and it is just denied by Livonia.
I'm doing a surrender cobra right now. Andy Ignatovich, what on earth? That is a grade A chance. What else could you ask for?
Here comes another one from Ignatovich, but is stopped by Livonia. That is two straight chances for Ignatovich to try and put the Robins on the board, but he's left empty-handed. It is still a scoreless game as we cross the 23-minute mark of the first half.
Ignatovich you have to do better. You have a one-on-one chance with the goalie like that. You have to finish that chance. I mean, the goalkeeper did a great job to make himself big there to prevent and have cover as much basis as he could, leaving himself exposed. Luckily, his foot caught it, but Ignatovich has to do better on that finish. That is what you want as the front man. Ignatovich normally doesn't play striker, but that's what you want in that scenario.
Here comes some substitutions for Livonia now. So it sounds like the PA guy doesn't have the names for these guys either.
Hey, at least we're not alone. We love our PA guy, knowing that we're not alone in this.
Meanwhile, here comes Livonia with a chance. He with a shot, and it's saved by Kiska. Here comes a rebound attempt for Livonia. Gets a pass onto the left side. Now he's going to spin around Christensen. Gets a shot and is blocked. Here comes a pass. Chips it in. Now Kiska's going to race to it, but it goes right out of bounds, and it's now going to be a goal kick for Lansing. That was a scary opportunity there for Livonia.
Livonia had a great chance there. Great save by Kiska. They had the rebound, tried again. Player was offside. He knew it right away, so he let it go instead of trying to take possession of it. That would have only been the second goal allowed this entire season, including friendlies by the Robins, only giving up 1 goal in the draw against Midwest United's FC's under-23s.
Meanwhile, let's see if Livonia has another chance with a shot and a save by Kiska. Goes right into the splits as he gets drags the ball down to the field. Thinking about it for a second, but he's just gonna heave a pass over. It looked like he was gonna either throw it to the right or the left, but he somehow gets to the middle as the ball sails on past Christensen. Now Livonia's gonna try for another scoring chance. Going a little bit backwards now, trying to regroup. Here comes a pass right to the middle. Gets another shot, and it sails over the crossbar. Now it looks like it's going to be a 3-3 ball game in American football.
Yep, that was out of all the ones that we've had all season, I feel like that was the most guaranteed that we both can say that was a field goal.
Yeah, the most definitive field goal that we've had so far. Based on where we're sitting right now in the press box and how the uprights are angled, it can mess with you a little bit where the dimensions are, trying to see if it actually goes past the upright or not, but we can safely say for sure
that was a field goal.
That was a genuine field goal.
That was a good strike too. I mean, that would have been in American football, that would have been roughly a PAT, about a 37-yard field goal. Great patience on it. Test Kiska there had some trouble with it. If it maybe wasn't as much power, could have found one of the top corners. Thankfully, it wasn't. But man, what a strike from distance that was.
Well, she has rips from a couple Livonia players as he jumps a pass over to Contreras, who now angles it onto the right side. Now the ball is bouncing around like a pinball as it goes right to Contreras' possession. Now back over to Christensen. Fighting with it now at midfield as he gives it to, I believe that was not Farhat.
Shatia.
That was Shatia. Goes for a slide, but he misses. As Livonia now has possession on offense. Trying to make a man miss, but right to the feet of Shatia. Keeps it inbounds, kept it inbounds for a bit, but banks off a Livonia player, goes out of bounds. Throw in now for the Robins. Shatia's gonna be the one doing the honors.
Shatia has shown off his skills so far earlier in this one. And the number 17 for Livonia City tried showing off some of his too. Had a little bit of a flip-flap combo there. Just couldn't work. More of a defender. Not something that you really want to try. And Shatia gets hammered by said number 17.
Yeah, speaking of those two, they get into a little collision there right on the left sideline. Shatia goes down. Hasn't gotten up just yet, but he's probably just going to take a little breather before he regroups and stands back up. Looks like it was a misunderstanding. They were able to talk to each other just for a quick second, just to know that wasn't on purpose. Shea gets himself back up as we resume play. 27.5 minutes to go, or 27.5 minutes into the first half of this friendly matchup between Lansing and Livonia. Still a scoreless game as Shatia tries to get possession of it, but it sails right past him. That injury is definitely showing up right now. Ball trickles over to the left corner. Goes right past, in between the legs of Shatia, but goes out of bounds. Throw in now for Lansing.
Nice grab by that ball kid. I mean, ball is maybe about half the size as he is, and made an excellent grab on it.
All right, there's a throw in from Trunk. Gives it over the Farhat. Farhat stomps the ball down, passing it to Winkle. Now Winko's going to give it to a wide open bot who's right at the middle of the logo. Now to Contreras. Over to Christensen. Now back to Contreras. Now makes a man miss, makes another man miss, hits a pass off to Marcos. Now it's going to go back to Contreras, who passes it on backwards. Let's see what the Robins have in store right now. On the right corner with it was Marcos, and it goes out of bounds. Refs are saying it went off the Robins last, so it's going to be a throw-in for Livonia.
Great link-up work there again from the Robins. That seems to be the theme of the day, that they're going to try and play it between each other and give themselves opportunities on the outside of the box to whip it into the danger area. Great chance there by Evan Marcos, just blocked off. He had some numbers in favor, including Ignatovich and Resch, just not being able to get the numbers that they want.
All right, Livonia tries to race to midfield, but is halted by Lansing. Livonia still is going to have possession of the ball as they get the throw-in attempt here. Let's see what they got cooking up. Throws it right into a couple Robins, but Livonia still able to handle that. But now we've got a whistle blown. Looked like there's going to be a call on Christensen there. Got tangled up a little bit right on the right sideline.
I don't know about you, Noah, but even though we are not playing this game, I am sweating up here in this booth.
You have no idea how I'm feeling too. I'm even worse. I got a hat on, so my forehead's feels like it's completely drenched.
I am sweating. I'm dripping down my head, my arms. It is hot today.
Yeah, halftime couldn't come any sooner right now. We still got 15 minutes of regular time to go in the first half, barring any stoppage time. So next chance I get for a free fill will be not too close from where we are right now in the game. Still got plenty of action here in this first half, as there's a big strike there from Lansing. Stopped by Livonia. They're going to go for a chance here. Halted a little bit by Contreras as Trunk thinks about it, but he's going to let the ball go because he knows it's going to be a throw-in for the Robins.
Water break.
And we're going to we're here for another water break.
And I'm going to join the players. As I just said, I am drenched up here.
Oh, that feels a lot better. I may be out of water, but just the feeling of the ice,
That
like
felt
the
good.
coolness of the ice, just feels a lot better.
I would say, are you a guy? Now, while we're taking a hydration break and this much than deserved, I have a question for you because you bring it up.
Yep.
Some people have a problem with this. Are you the type of guy that when you get done with your drink and there's ice in it, you like to swig it back and chew on the ice, or no?
Every now and then. I'm not
Okay.
I honestly thought that was a weird thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I must be in the minority here because I love to do that. Especially, like, imagine this right now, and it's like a nice cold glass of Coke. I just love to finish it off, and then I'm going to chew on the ice to at the end just so I can, especially on a day like this, I love to have the ice into the system. It feels good, especially on a hot day like this. It is boiling today. I think our producer, Scott, is agreeing with my assessment. Yes, he's agreeing with what I'm saying. So I'm not in the minority here. I'm in the majority.
I never said I was in the majority or anything, or thought it was in the minority. Like I said, I do it sometimes too, but mostly I like some days like this. If it was like I said, if it's super duper hot, this is probably the first day of the year where it's actually felt like that.
Yes.
At least where I'm from, usually it's been either cloudy or cool, raining. Speaking of rain, it was storming these past couple days. I remember waking up today before I had to leave for here. It was absolutely storming.
We were actually, because Noah and I are initially from like the same area, and I remember we lost power. We lost power on, I believe, Wednesday. One of the days during this week we lost power. That's how bad the storms were.
Luckily I was fine.
Well, I live like in like Washington Township, so north of.
I'm more Macomb.
Yeah,
so.
you're Macomb area. So it's been a weird summer so far since we've been on break from school.
Yeah, this is the first genuine day where it feels like summer.
Yeah, especially since the summer solstice is today.
Yep. Reese tries for a fast break, but It is immediately impeded by Livonia as the ball once again goes out of bounds. It's going to go back to the hands of Lansing with the throw-in here.
I believe we had some substitutions during that hydration break. It looks like Andy Ignatovich has dropped back to his more favorable center defensive mid role. Looks like Blendi Jahiri has come into this one. Some other names, I believe, have joined the contest.
Yep, number 20. He's right on like the 35-yard line. That's Zach Holden, who's now in for the Robins.
And I believe Colin Winters is in the game, playing in that midfield role alongside Andy Ignatovich.
All right, meanwhile, Dylan Bott has it right now as he's about to cross midfield. Here comes a big strike from Bott. Sails over the head of Shatia, but it's going to bounce favorably into on top of the head of Livonia, but it's going to be another throw-in for Lansing. Here comes the throw-in from Shatia. He's going to give it to Reish, who gets tripped up, and that is going to get called right there.
Easy call any day of the week. Owen Resch trying to show off his technical ability, going between the men. Too many people clanging up with the feet there. It goes down. Easy call for the officials. And one final substitution that came in for Kira Christensen is Jonah Caldwell, the Lawrence Tech student, coming into this one. As that experience, as he's one of the older guys in this side. A lot of these guys are more high schoolers, early freshmen and sophomores in college. Jonah Caldwell is one of the few guys in this squad that are on the older side. I believe he's going to be a senior this summer, or this year at Lawrence Tech.
Speaking of Lawrence Tech, that's actually somewhere I'll be going next once August 25th rolls around.
State champs?
No, I'm doing a program at Specs Howard, or at Specs at LTU. So that's since you mentioned Lawrence Tech. I was actually there the other day for orientation.
Ah, fun.
Meanwhile, here's a chance now for Lansing with it. Ball graces a little bit past Lansing as the whistle is blown.
A little too Christian Trunk from his left back position, coming in a little too aggressive on that one. Saw the daylight, saw that they had a chance, just can't make it work in the favor of the Robins.
Yep, still a scoreless game here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. We're about 35.5 minutes into the first half. Got less than 10 minutes to go, barring any stoppage time here. It's just been a evenly matchup so far in this friendly game. Here comes a chance for Livonia, but it sails a little too far right into the corner. It's gonna be a goal kick now for Lansing.
Out of all the teams that we have played here at Lansing Eastern Stadium, it seems as if Livonia City is the one that's getting very good chances here. They are not a team to dismiss. They may be a league lower than us. They may not be the same quality as the teams we've faced here, but it seems as if they are getting good chances. They are getting their numbers forward and giving themselves the best opportunities to get that first goal in this one. If the Robins want to continue the undefeated season, including friendlies, they're going to have to step this up.
Yeah, it's a team with really nothing to lose. Like you said, they're only a division below us. So trying to play up to their case must feel good for the morale of the team, even if it's a friendly matchup.
Completely. I mean, regardless of who you play, you get to come out and step on the field and play some soccer. Regardless, if it is higher, you're just enjoying the day. I mean, it may be a scorcher today, but you're still able to play soccer, and that is a joy that everybody should hold on to.
And meanwhile, Bott has it, gives it to Ignatovich, who just earlier got tripped up a little bit. That must have hurt. I think 2 Livonia players were able to get him here's a chance now. Sails over the goal and out of bounds. Goal kick for, never mind, it's gonna be a corner kick for Lansing.
And I believe I know who is either going to be on the corner kick or who is definitely going to have his feet on it. Somebody that just entered the game. The main man himself, number 10, Ali Ahmad.
Yeah, he's been the star player so far in these past few weeks for Lansing.
Yeah, completely. He has dazzled everybody with his technical ability and his shot.
Meanwhile, a drive from Shatia. Here's a header. Goes left of the goal. Here comes a rebound attempt from Ignatovich. He leaps forward. Trunk tries to get a foot on it, but it rolls into the hands of Livonia's goalkeeper.
Shatia making his man miss, puts in a good cross into the box. Just not enough to get a good header onto it, but having some opportunities for the Robins. They have some daylight, they have some chances. Can they execute on it?
So far, that has not been the case. They've tried. It's not due to a lack of trying. It's just unfortunate circumstances that still make this a 0-0 ball game as we're about to reach the 38.5-minute mark of the first half.
The number 5 for Livonia was definitely a little bit of upset of himself. He had his player right in front of him and just put way too much on it to sail it out of play.
All right, the throw into Ali Ahmad is intercepted by Livonia, and now is stopped by Lansing. That was Blendi Chahiri, who's now into the game for the Robins. Meanwhile, here's a throw in for Livonia. Back on offense with it now. Got about 6 minutes to go in this first half, as a kick is blocked by Lansing. Blocked by Trunk off the kneecaps of Trunk. Still going to be a throw-in for Livonia, though.
And I'm going to have to get some confirmation from the hires up at this, but Blendi Jahiri from Mason playing there. There's somebody on the Livonia City FC roster named Bleon Jahiri. Is that man related to Blendi Jahiri?
That could be a case. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Here comes Ali Ahmad. Here's a pass down on the right side. Lansing with a chance now, is shot and is saved. Oh, that was Marcos who had a chance, but now he is down on the field. He had the fast break and everything.
I think it's Blendi Jahiri.
Oh, that's Jahiri. Oh, never
the
mind.
man I was just talking about, and I got confirmation from our producer, Scott, that Bleon Jahiri on Livonia City is brothers with Blendi Jahiri, who's down. Looks like he may have got...
May have been a Charlie horse or something. He was racing for that ball right there on the right corner. He had a chance to dump it in the net, but it got blocked by the goalkeeper.
And he's going to need to come out of this one. He's got hopefully nothing too serious for Blendi. Hasn't been featuring as much. He's one of the younger guys still in high school. He finished with 17 goals and 16 assists last season for Mason High School. He was all Lansing area Division II All-State first team honors for soccer, and he is in some pain. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Maybe it's just a cramp.
That's what I was saying. Maybe it might be a muscle cramp, because he was able to get up on his own power, thankfully.
But when you see players and officials signal for a sub like that, that is a very scary sight. Hopefully nothing too serious, and he'll be able, he maybe not reappear in this one, but he'll be able to feature in another game later on in the season.
Meanwhile, Santiago Contreras is going to come right back to the field now to replace Jahiri. Play is now resumed as the goalkeeper heaves a pass over to the right side to number 19. Tries to get a pass off, but Ignatovich tries to steal it, but it goes right past him. Midfield now is Livonia. The shot that goes right to the feet of Lansing. That's Holden with it. Now here's Ahmad racing for it on the right corner. Let's see if he's got more of that magic in him now. Gets on over, falls a little back to Contreras, now back to Ahmad. Goes to the right, now he spins, falls down a little bit, but gets right back up, gets a pass off. Blocked by Livonia, but still going to be Lansing ball on the throw-in.
Had the idea to go in behind the defenders. Ali Ahmad had the space, just not the numbers to be able to execute. Just dumped it off, just trying something else.
All right, here comes Bot with a shot, or more so a pass to Ignatovich. Now Ignatovich is going to get it over to Shatiri, or now to Trunk. Now it's tangled a little bit. That's Contreras, who's just stepping on all the Livonia toes here as he's falls to the ground. Ball sails out of bounds, now back to Trunk, now over to Ignatovich. Now Ahmad has it for the Robins. Tries to shoot it, but it's blocked by their own number 10. He's racing for it now to midfield. Blocked off the heel of a Robin. Now they're looking to regroup here. Here's Ignatovich out on the left side. Gonna try and move left as he gets to the Trunk. Now Trunk sidesteps. Now to Shatia. Shia goes around the right for a pass to Trunk. Misses the mark, out of bounds. Goal kick now for Livonia City.
It feels like that's been the story of this first half, is that the quality is showing with some of these players, especially named Amir Shatia, who's really dazzled with his technical ability and his skills. Just not the end quality that you would want there. Trying to find a pass up the left-hand side of Christian Trunk and just puts way too much on it and sails out of play.
All right, got a couple minutes to go in regulation now in this first half. Live here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. Noah Stalker on play-by-play. Josh Lee on color as Lansing Common looks to try and take the lead against Livonia. It's still a scoreless game as it goes out of bounds once again. It's going to be a throw-in attempt for Livonia. Now the Robin's going to fall back on the defense.
Looked like the referee overruled his own linesman. Linesman was looking to the left hand, pointing to her right, which would signal a Robbins throw-in, but overruled. Don't see that every day.
Ball sails over the head of a Livonia player as he passes on to his left, getting swarmed by Holden. Meanwhile, Contreras tries to race for it. This stop. Here comes another chance for Ignatovich, but now back into the possession of Lansing. Here's Ali Ahmad at midfield. Tries for something, blocked by Livonia.
Ref's calling back for that foul. One of the Livonia players came in a little too aggressive. Caught a player up high. Thankfully, nothing happened. Nobody hurt. But very dangerous play there.
Here comes Dylan Bott here on the penalty kick, or the free kick. Strikes a far one over to into the box. Here comes a chance with the header, and he scores! Zach Holden off his head is able to bank it in the net, and we are up 1-0 now.
Lots of confusion from Livonia. No, the goalkeeper didn't know whether to come out. Header, dangerous header, playing it back in towards the middle. Always you're told, header it away to the outside, put it right back into the middle to the dangerous area. Zach Holden pounces on the mistake from Livonia City, makes it 1-0 Robins just on the stroke of halftime. That's exactly what you needed, just some mistake to come out of nowhere and pounce on it like that. Great effort there from Zach Holden. You know, from DeWitt, the Kalamazoo College native, or not native, but the Kalamazoo College player. He's described as very versatile. He played everywhere. He's been normally a center defensive mid, playing out on the wing today. Excellent chance there from Holden, and he capitalizes on the header.
Meanwhile, Livonia tries to bamboozle the Robins by going immediately on the aggressive following the Zach Holden goal, but no results there as it's going to be a throw-in now. First 30 seconds into stoppage time. Livonia's going to try and tie things up immediately, and they had a chance, but it sails right into the hands of Kiska. Kiska's going to try and milk this clock a little bit as they try and get into the locker rooms. Can't find anybody, so he's going to roll it onto his left back. Well, there's Trunk with it. Who gets it to Shatia, who is tripped up there. He gets put in the spin cycle, and he is slow to get up. Meanwhile, Livonia tries something here, bounces off a player. Here comes another shot, and it goes left of the goal and out of bounds.
Livonia City taking advantage of Shatia being down, no call, some players standing still, taking advantage of it, trying to press forward. No whistle, no call, keep going. You're always told to play to the whistle in every sport that if you ever played a sport. Play to the whistle, no whistle, keep going. Great chance just to the outside of the post. They're really testing Kiska in this one, and they remained aggressive after going down 1-0.
All right, here's Trunk on the left side with it, rushing with it to Ahmad as he's unable to control the ball. It bounces off both of his calves and now back to the Livonia possession. Angling on over to the left side is number 19. Gets a kick of his own, headed by Bott. Sails out of bounds. Now it's going to be a Livonia free throw.
What normally would be an excellent through ball there, Dylan Bott, just using his height, didn't even have to jump that high to get rid of it.
All right, a couple minutes into stoppage time. 1-0 ball game. Lansing, thanks to the efforts of Zach Holden, he scores with a minute left to go in regulation. Livonia is looking to try and answer back to that. And we got a whistle blown now.
Offsides. Offsides on Livonia City. You got to imagine that you're roughly close to 3 minutes into stoppage time. This is probably going to be the last kick of the half.
Yeah, bro, should be in the waning moments of stoppage time here as Kiska goes for the kick here. All right, he's ready. Here it comes. Never mind. He's just going to recalibrate and try again. There's the kick. Big swing. Pass Holden over to Ahmad. Ahmad's going to race for it now on the right corner, seeing he can extend this lead even further before he headed into halftime. Goes above Livonia back as he gets pushed to the ground. No call there as Livonia looks to race on forward. Stopped by Lansing.
Ali Ahmad getting a little too cheeky there, as we've talked about. He tried a rainbow flick over the left back of Livonia City, and that player did not like it. He was not very happy with that one. Bit of a show of disrespect from Ali Ahmad, taken there by Livonia City.
Meanwhile, here they come on the rush. Getting pushed down is Trunk. He's a little slow to get up. He's grasping his calf as Kiska's able to get his hands on the ball to prevent a goal from Livonia. Luckily, he's able to get it back up on his own 2 feet. So there's been a few scares so far in these last 10 minutes of play. So far, we've got the Jahiri injury. Meanwhile, Shatia and Trunk have both went down for a few seconds, but luckily they've been able to get up on their own power as Lansing looks to generate some more offense now. Here they come. This pass over to Holden. Came from Jonah Caldwell. Holden with the only goal so far in this game. It goes out of bounds. We're about 4.5 minutes into stoppage time.
As you say it, partner.
As I speak it into existence, they proceed to go to halftime.
Seemed like a very long time. I didn't see how there was going to be 4.5 to close to 5 minutes of stoppage time in that first half. But Robbins, Livonia City tied up basically essentially for the entire half. Lansing Common benefiting off a mistake from Livonia City to give themselves a 1-0 lead in the friendly. See if there's any changes to halftime. Try and get some fresh legs out there as the heat is setting in.
Yep, as both teams go to the locker room, Lansing's going to hold on to a 1-0 lead as we reach halftime. We'll be right back with more action here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. But for now, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're about finished up with halftime here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium in our state's capital, Lansing, Michigan. And coming out of halftime, your Lansing Common FC Robins are up 1-0 in this friendly matchup against Livonia City FC. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Noah Stalker. I'm here on play-by-play for the Robins. On my right is Josh Lee on color commentary. Josh, what have your thoughts been so far in this game?
Hot. Very, very hot. And I mean that in multiple different ways. One, it's hot for us up here in the booth, and we're trying our best to articulate sentences through the heat. But I also feel that it's having an effect on some of the players, especially with that last goal given up by Livonia. Wondering if the heat is setting in. It's just causing bad decision-making as the goalkeeper had the chance to come out and play the ball, maintain possession and not give it up, but he was indecisive in what to do. Zach Holden had a grade A chance to go ahead and score, headed it in with ease. So heat and hotness has definitely got to be the main takeaway from this one, is it is setting in. There may be some wind, but man, is it still hot today. I mean, we're talking, it is currently 89 degrees here in Lansing, and while there is wind and it may feel a little bit cooler, it still feels miserably hot today.
Yeah, weather-wise, nothing's really going to change so far, even as we get deeper and deeper into the second half. By the time 8 p.m. rolls around, temperature's not going to be so different. It's still going to be like high 80s. Still going to feel like it's in the low 90s, because right now, heat index makes it feel like it's 91.
Man, it is very, very warm. I mean, I believe we're both looking at our weather apps on us. I mean, the UV may be low, but man, it is still, it's 12 degrees higher than average right now.
Yep.
It's hot.
Meanwhile, Lansing is going to be kicking off the second half here. Owen Rush will be the one that will be doing the honors for the Robins. Despite him not scoring any goals so far, he's been a key contributor in this game. He's been the one with the most hustle. He's been the one that's always somehow has his nose for the ball, regardless of wherever it is. And even though Zach Holden's the one with the lone goal in this game, Owen Rush has definitely been, like I said, a key contributor.
Owen Rush, and then I would also throw out there, Amir Shatia has definitely dazzled on the side of the play. He's no longer in this one so far, I believe. Don't see him out there unless he's dropped further back into midfield, but he definitely dazzled when he played. He definitely had some technical ability show.
Yeah. Looks like he's on the bench. He's got the neon thing over his jersey.
He's got the thing over his head.
I did see him come out of the locker room before the break as I was getting some water for both of us. He looked like he was doing fine. Must just need a breather. He's been one of the few people on the team that had played just about every minute of that first half. So let's let him recuperate a bit as Lansing holds on to this 1-0 lead in this friendly. First few seconds of the game, and it's Livonia with it now. Goalkeeper passes it on to the left side. Just over to number 16. He's getting pushed around a bit by Lansing. That was number 22, Jonah Caldwell, who came in the latter half of the first half. Now he's going to take going to start a bit. Here comes an opportunity for Rush, who I was just talking about. He's racing onto the left side, trying to go for an angle. He's now going to circle his way back. Gets a pass off to number 4, Colin Winters. Goes back over to Rush, passing it to Winkle. Winkle gets tied up a little bit. He's going to try and corral the ball to Bott, and he does just that as Bott gets it over onto a right angle-ish to number 22, Jonah Caldwell. Now with it is Evan Marcos, gets a shot, and it is banked off and scores! Kicking off the second half now with a big goal from Lansing. I believe that's Zach. Was that Zach Holden again?
That is Zach Holden, if I do say so.
His second goal of the game makes it a 2-0 ball game for the Robins in this friendly. He is on fire. He ends the first half with a goal, and he starts the second half with a goal.
That's exactly what Coach Sorg has talked about all season, what he wants to see from his players. Excellent cross into the box, the aggressiveness to go forward with it. Zach Holden, all he had to do is simply just put a foot on it, and it was going in the net. What a response from what you could say was just not a very good first half, besides one mistake from Livonia City. Pouncing on it right away makes it 2-0 Robins.
Meanwhile, Livonia's going to try and be aggressive now to cut the lead in half, but nothing there. They're going to get the throw in, though. They're going to try and keep it on their offensive side. Number 9 thinks about it, but he's going to pass off the throw-in to somebody else. Number 2, he looks a little confused. I don't know if he was expecting that or not.
I don't know if he was trying to hype up the bench, maybe, to hype him up for this long throw he's going to try.
All right, he's one right into the middle of the pack. It bounces off the head of a player and goes out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for Lansing now.
It's hard to read numbers from here. I'm having a bit of a difficult time. Maybe I need to start getting some glasses. I believe we had a goalie change during halftime. If my eyes are not deceiving me, I believe that's a number 1 on the jersey. I can't really see from here, but I believe that would be Lazaro Solis coming into net. I could be wrong. It is very hard to see from here, and the heat is getting to my head a little bit. But I wonder.
Well, I can understand why they do that. Don't want to. It's a friendly match. Don't want to overwork anybody.
Kiska's been the primary, I believe, the primary backup to Brooks Boersma this season, so you don't want to overheat him.
Here comes another chance now as Ignatovich is alone on the right side. He gets a pass off, tries to give the hat trick to Holden, but the ball angles too far wide as it goes out of bounds. All right, Livonia now has it in the box. Just a few dink and duck passes here and there. Try and stop any momentum that Lansing had. Just tiptoeing around Ignatovich now. And it's going to go right to the goalkeeper. He's going to give it right back over to the left back. Going to give it over to number 2. It's a big kick blocked by Winters, but Livonia's going to try and corral it once again. Prancing around midfield with it now is Livonia, who's going to strike it backwards to their to around for the 30-yard line is of the Lansing Easter Stadium. Back on the right sideline with it now, just passing it back and forth and back and forth.
One thing I've always wondered with teams that have numbers, as Livonia did a little earlier, why not go for it? Why pass backwards?
Oh, collision right there in the middle.
That scenario a little different. I understand in that scenario going backwards, but when you have maybe 2, 3 guys, traditionally you see them just pass it back and try and keep possession. I want to see attacking. I want to see excitement. I want to see numbers. I want to see breakaways. Typically traditional in hockey, a breakaway, but I want to see that attacking mindset, and I feel like that's gotten lost in modern day soccer. So Livonia City doing a good job responding off the quick goal from Lansing Common, but I want to see something different, especially from Livonia. If you're down 2-0 already, trying to go attack.
Here's a shot by Livonia, goes left to the goalpost and out of bounds. Across the 5-minute mark of the second half, Lansing up 2-0 now, thanks to Zach Holden once again. He finished the first half with a goal, and he was able to kick the second half off with a goal. Let's see if he can get that hat trick here as Lansing goes back on offense. Holden is right now on the left side of the screen. He is right behind a couple players. He's now going to race over and plant himself over by around the 28-yard line as Joey Farhat has out. He's going to pass it back. Now it's going to go over to Jonah Caldwell. Caldwell's going to chip it to Marcos. Now Caldwell and Farhat mix it up a little bit. Livonia's going to retake possession as they cross midfield. And it is stopped immediately by Bott. He slides in for the pick, but it goes out of bounds.
Livonia City, like I said, is really responding well after coming off of a goal. It had some chances there, but Dylan Bott just playing cleanup duty again. The normal role that you would see like Spencer Powell play, that when we play the matches, Dylan Bott, who's been in center back partnership for the remainder of the season as Miles Foster went down to a sports hernia, taking initiative like his captain does.
Well, fighting with the ball with now is Livonia. They're going to try and generate some offense, but they're tangled up by Lansing as it's going to go right to Salace.
Again, not sure if it's
Not
Salace.
sure?
Not sure. It's hard to see the sun and everything, but I want to say it is Salace.
All right, here comes Livonia once again. On the left side is number 10. He's going to go for a shot. There he goes. No one home there, unfortunately, as the ball's going to trickle out of bounds. It's be a throw-in now for Lansing.
Whoever is the right winger for Livonia, it's hard to tell what kind of formation Livonia is playing. At times, it looks as if it's like a 4-2-2-2. At other times, it looks like that they're playing with one pivot, 3 midfielders, and 2 up front. It's very confusing to see what Livonia is trying to do. Just needed somebody there to try and get down the end of that challenge.
All right, Caldwell gives it to Farhat. Right back to the defense, now back to Caldwell. There's Winkle now with it. Goes over the head of a Livonia player. And we now have a whistle blown.
Yeah, the defender just, it was out of the reach for both defenders, or both players in Owen Resch and the defender. But the defender came in with that elbow. And that's just a no-no.
Yeah, they were able to settle it, though. There was no ill will there.
There's no ill will, obviously. They're both just trying to make a soccer play on it. But the elbow was just a little too high there, and Oresh kind of seemed bothered by it, and the ref saw it clear as day. So easy call.
Right, here comes the kick now. There's, I believe that's that's Farhat. Big heave, goes off the head. Nothing there. Rebound from Resch, blocked by Livonia. There was a good chance there by Resch to make it a 3-0 ball game. Now Christensen loses it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Livonia. 53 minutes into the game, Lansing up 2-0 here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. Makes a man miss, crossing midfield with it now. Number 16 racing onto the left sideline. Caldwell on his right. Gets pushed around a bit, still on his feet. Loses the ball. Now Caldwell's going to regroup with it. Now Winkle bounces back to Caldwell. Caldwell's racing now, but he loses control. Back into possession of Livonia City. Rush is just going to jog his way over to the ball. So you can try and make a stop here. Goes right past Holden, who has 2 goals in this game right now. Not a whole lot going on as we're about 55 minutes into the game. Farhat tries to outmaneuver him, but possession still in Livonia's favor. It's bouncing it back and forth now from offense to defense as Lansing now tries for something of their own. Big kick there from Christensen, I believe, as Resch is going to try and race for it. Livonia's able to get to it first, gets to the goalkeeper. Now back to number 15. He's going to pass it along to the right side. Farhat waiting for it to fall down as he gives it to Winkle. Winkle is circling on over to the right side. Now to Marcos. Marcos trying to go left, but he goes right instead. Meanwhile, Farhat on the right corner goes for a shot and is blocked, and it's going to be a corner kick now for Lansing.
That number 15 is really trying to impose his will back there and really trying to hammer anybody that comes near him and show them who he believes is in charge of this one. It still is 2-0 in favor of the Robins, but Livonia City, for being down 2-0 and having just a bad break at the end of the first half and at the start of the second half, they're really showing that they are a tough team to play against.
Lansing's on offense right now. Oh, Resch loses control, loses where the ball was. Meanwhile, here's Bot passing it on to Marcos. Marcos looks for a shot. He's going to pass it. Farhat's going to try and get it. bouncing around out to the left side. Loses control. And now here comes Livonia on the fast break. But Caldwell's able to stop it before anything gets going. Now he's going to give it to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper loses it. It gets blocked, but he's able to recover immediately. That would have been dangerous for Lansing. It looked like Livonia had basically a free goal.
Had a free goal, but I'm not going to speculate who the goalkeeper is, but had quick reactions and had an understanding that that was probably behind him and was able to get back to it and prevent any chance coming. But, man, lots of questionable decisions from the goalkeepers today that are leading to chances. One team has been able to pounce on a couple of them, and the other hasn't quite yet.
Yep, ever since that goal by Holden, not a whole lot has happened so far. That was probably the biggest scoring chance since that goal for either side.
Yeah, completely. And we've talked about it all game, but I have to stress to people that just don't understand the heat that we are dealing with. I was charging my phone, and I got a notification that said that I was not able to charge because my phone is too hot. It is a very hot day. Questionable decisions are made when you're just so drained from the heat.
I'm starting to feel it myself, too. I'm starting to get a little tired here being up here in the booth all day for most of the afternoon.
You are not alone. I am feeling it right now, and we have another 30 minutes plus stoppage time. I am feeling the heat so far.
Hopefully Lansing can give us some peak entertainment, get some more goals here as Marcos goes for a chance. Oh, and it looked like there was something going there but it went off the bottom of the cleat. I believe that was not Caldwell. That was
Zach Holden tried
Holden tried to go for the hat trick there. Meanwhile, Livonia on offense now gets tripped up by Winkle as Winkle gets the ball out of harm's way. Now Caldwell's going to prance his way over to midfield, gets a pass off to Colin Winters as he pierces through the middle. Now he's going to get passed over to the left side. That's Carrick Christensen with it. He gets a shot, save made, rebound, another save by Livonia.
I believe that was Zach Wilson going for, or not Zach Wilson. That's a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. My apologies. Zach Holden went for his hat trick there. See, the heat is really getting to me. I just said an NFL quarterback is playing left mid or left wing for the Lansing Common Robins.
Well, I can tell you what, the moms are not out in full force for sure. Meanwhile, Livonia now has it at midfield. As here comes an opportunity for Livonia. That's number 10. He's all alone and it is saved as we get a whistle blown.
I needed to take a minute to collect myself after that one. That was a really good joke there, Noah. Wow, but Livonia City had themselves a grade A chance straight offside there. But, man, if you wanted entertainment, there has not been as much entertainment in terms of goals the last 10 minutes. Noah Stalker providing it for you there with that Zach Wilson joke as we head into the hydration break. You know, I had a lot of faith in Zach Wilson when he came out of college. I thought he was
I don't know why. I thought I remember when, the draft was going on, I was thinking, man, maybe the Lions should get a guy like that. But I'm so glad that was not the case.
Oh, yeah. 2020 hindsight is a beautiful thing, but I had a lot of faith when Zach Wilson came out of college. I thought he was going to be I thought he was a great prospect, and I thought he was going to do a lot. I thought he was going to be a great savior for the New York Jets, and man, I could not be more wrong about that one.
I think it was more so because of COVID.
Yeah, I think
COVID definitely stunted a lot of development with most college prospects, so they didn't get a whole lot of film with the guy, especially when he played at BYU, Big 12, not known for their defense and whatnot. Plus, don't forget about his pro day where he made himself look like he was prime Drew Brees.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at that, I mean, we're at a soccer game. We're talking about NFL football, but if you look back at that 2020 draft class, a lot of those players just didn't turn out the way that a lot of people hoped. Just besides, the quarterbacks turned out pretty good.
You're talking about 2020 or 2021?
2020, and then you can include
2021.
Because I feel like you can include all those quarterbacks in it, because not a lot of those quarterbacks turned out really good in that 2021 class, and that 2020 class turned out pretty good.
Well, yeah, because, well, one, COVID wasn't a thing just yet.
Yeah,
It's more so the class after the fact.
yeah, they suffered immensely. I mean, a lot of those players haven't really lived up to the hypes, but
I mean, more so the quarterbacks. A lot of the other skill players,
yes.
like for every Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, you got your Penei Sewells, your Pat Surtans, your Micah Parsons, and all of them.
What a good draft that was for everything besides quarterbacks.
After the water break, Livonia substitution number 14 for number 10.
Meanwhile, we're about to exit the water break here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. 62 minutes into the game, Lansing is up 2-0.
And I believe man, my eyes are really struggling with me today. I think that's a 1 on the goalie, so we may have confirmed that it's a Lazaro Salace in goal for...
It doesn't help that the Lansing goalkeeper jersey is very, very colorful.
Yes.
There's a lot going on, so it's hard to decipher exactly whose number it is on the jersey. Meanwhile, the goalie's going to chip it on to Mason Winkle. Now Winkle's going to chip one of his own to Caldwell. Caldwell's just going to dance around with the ball right back to Winkle. Now over back to Caldwell as he's going to try for something. Stopped by Livonia. There's a couple of Robins swarming him as he gets sandwiched by Marcos and Caldwell. Jonah out of bounds, and now it's going to be Lansing throw-in.
Jonah Caldwell has come into this game, and he has provided an impact. He's had moments where he's looked very solid defensively, but going forward, lots of missed hits, not putting the right amount of power on the ball. It's just leaving more to be desired from a player that has so much experience and can offer so much if he could just figure out the little details.
Oh, Zach Holden, like a lightning bolt, just caught up with number 2 of Livonia. Was able to disorient him as it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick, though, for Livonia. Oh, never mind. It's going to be a goal kick, actually. It looked like it went off of him last.
Yeah, went in for the challenge, accidentally kicked it out. Something that can be worked with. Thankfully, you get the pressure out of your own end and can start going forward with it.
All right, Winkle on the opposite side now. He's going to get a cross-field pass over to Marcos. Now here's Owen Rush with it, loses it just immediately as he got it. Now marching out of the right side is Livonia City. Winters is going to race for it to regroup for Lansing. Goes for a kick, bounces off of number 9. It's going to be another goal kick for Lansing.
It should be noted that Dylan Bott has come out of this one. Colin Winters steps back into that center back role alongside Mason Winkle, and I believe Santiago Contreras comes in to join Joey Farhat, which was initially that defensive mid duo that started out this game with Andy Ignatovich just ahead of them with Zach Holden, Owen Resch, and I believe Evan Marcos on the right.
All right. Here's a throw in there from for Christensen. Ignatovich loses it. Now he's going to try and race for it. Now he does. He's on the left sideline with it as the ball sails back to Livonia. .65 minutes into the game. Lansing still up 2-0 in this friendly here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. Well, here comes Holden. He's got no one around him. He's going to try and go for the hat trick here. Let's see if he has that in him. He's going to chip a pass over, but it's going to go right to the goalkeeper, and possession is going to reset for Livonia. Back and forth with it as Ignatovich knocks the man down. He's going to try for something. He gasses back. Here comes a shot. Oh, Rush had it, but the goalie's able to slide in at the last second to interrupt the chance.
Great challenge there from Ignatovich. Fair, clean challenge. Did take down the player, but it was still a very clean challenge. Had a 2-on-1 with Owen Rush by his side. It just put too much on it. I mean, that's got to be the story of this game so far. It could easily be 4-0 in favor of the Robins, but Livonia City is being able to capitalize off of some mistakes going forward for the Robins. That's keeping it within a decent ball game for Livonia, where they feel like they could easily still be in it.
Speaking of which, number 10 is going to race for it on the left corner, right by Winkle, but he stops it. He's able to slide and knock it out of bounds.
Mason Winkle coming and playing that cleanup duty, and it kicked off a Livonia City player, so it's going to be Lansing throw-in. It's just impressive what the center back duos have been able to do all day for the Robins.
All right, here comes Caldwell on the throw-in. He's gonna heave it, but it's gonna be stolen by number 21. Meanwhile, Contreras steals it from number 9, and racing with it now is Zach Holden. He's got Rush on the right side. He's not gonna be able to get him, so he's gonna pass it to Ignatovich. Ignatovich is gonna go right behind Holden, and now over to, I believe that's Christensen. Christensen has the ball once again. He goes for a shot, big one, caught by Livonia. Meanwhile, Christian Trunk is on the sideline ready to sub in for somebody. As Livonia has it now. Caldwell's gonna try and stop it, nothing there. Mason Winkle interrupts him. As Farhat does the same thing. Pushes them a little bit back to their defensive side. Well, here comes Livonia crossing midfield now as Christian disrupts the pass there. Now back to Holden. Holden's gonna kick it back to the left. Now cross-field pass over to Jonah Caldwell, left to right. Tries corralling it, can't keep control of it because he's got someone right on his back. Still in possession with his Lansing as Owen Rush moves over to the right. Joey Farhat's not too far away from him, but we got a whistle blown. Looks like we're gonna get some subs in now.
I agree with the number 15 on that one. I think he won that ball cleanly and took it away from Owen Rush, who's been a pest back there, and he's been one of the main reasons that Livonia's been able to keep this one as close as it is and being able to offer a spark to try and get something going. He's been a real force back there, but essentially it's still going to be Robin's ball. I think Livonia is really starting to feel it with the numbers that they have, that everybody's just gassed.
Yeah, compared to the Lansing bench, there's only like a handful of people that are at their disposal as Joey Farhat resumes play. Gives it to Contreras. Contreras is able to knock it on over to Christensen. Gives it right back to Contreras. Stops it. Passing it on backwards to Winters. Now back to Contreras, who gives it to Winkle. Winkle sets up to Caldwell. Back to Winkle. Loses control. Now gets to Contreras, who's going to triangulate it over to Winters. Now wide open on the left side, that was Christensen. But it's going to go out of bounds. Still going to be a Lansing throw-in, fortunately. Thanks for going back to Winters. Nice second guessing. He's going to try to go for a reach, but Livonia is able to kick it out of the air. Bounces off the chest to number 14. Stops it, but falls on his back as it goes out of bounds in favor of Livonia.
Something that you'd never want to see happen there. Just got tangled up with the ball and just ended up tripping over it.
One of those things you just can't really control. You just try and stop it, but then it just slips off your foot, and then next thing you know, your back is on the turf.
Can't be a good feeling on this day, man.
Especially when you're wearing black, too.
I can't stress it enough. It's got to be hot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, number 17 on the fast break over on the left side, he's going to try and rush in. He shoots it, but it hits the net, but outside of the net and out of bounds.
Yeah, the referee smartly calling it, saying that it was onside, which it was. Both the players, as the center backs try to play up and try and play that offside trap, timed their runs perfectly with the ball that was played in. Just can't get it to go. Had numbers in the box, essentially a 2-on-2, and nothing really working there.
All right. Lansing goalkeeper, who we assume is Lazaro Solis. He's going to give it to Winkle. Now over to Contreras, who's going to go backwards to Colin Winters. Now Winters is going to march his way over to the left side with a pass to Christensen. Now Christensen going to heave it to midfield off the kneecaps of Resch. Now Resch is going to try and poke it and disrupt it, but Livonia says nope. They're going to keep it in possession as it goes out of bounds. Lansing ball, nice.
Been ever since the goal and ever since that great chance from Livonia, it's been kind of there's been some chances, but there's nothing that's been catches your eye and you're like, must watch. That's all the Lansing Common really needs to do is just keep control of the game. Don't let anything get out of control. Don't let tempers flare. Don't get anybody that's going to make an ill-timed decision that can cause injury. Just stay composed during this time and just get out of here with a 2-0 win.
Yep, just basically suffocate this Livonia team so that they can get out of here with that 2-0 win. Meanwhile, Jonah Caldwell, nice shot, way to stop it out of the air, as Marcos now has it on the right side, loses it to number 15 of Livonia, who sets a pass off right around near the 40-yard line, where Contreras is shadowing the ball.
I will say this, Livonia's number 15 has to come away from this game feeling good about himself and his play. He has played incredible back there. He's not the reason that they're down 2-0 at all. He's had an incredible day, really being the stalwart back there to ensure that this game is still within reach and that they can get 2 more goals with still about 20-ish minutes remaining.
Meanwhile, Livonia, with a heave of a kick, sails right of the goalpost, so the kick is no good.
No good. That was definitely to the right of the post on that one. That felt like more of desperation. You still have plenty of time. There's close to 17 minutes of normal time. Throwing about another 2.5 from the hydration break we just took, and I'm sure we're going to get another hydration break here in a couple minutes. That felt more like desperation. That wasn't needed. You still have time. You still have a chance to get it, as I believe one of our interns is going to go fetch that ball that was blasted way over to the right. Just feels more like desperation from Livonia.
She's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink because they're down by 2. Not a whole lot of scoring chances for Livonia. They just got to see if anything will work. Meanwhile, Owen Rush is going to try and run right past the Livonia defense, and he's going to chip it over to Zach Holden, who's got 2 goals in this game. He's still looking for that elusive hat trick. Meanwhile, Ignatovich is going to race for the ball, disrupts the play right there, gives it right to Holden as he gets tripped up. And we've got a whistle blown now. Luckily, nothing too serious for Holden, as he's able to get up just almost immediately after being knocked down.
50. I think somebody misses OJ. All right, free kick coming. Free
kick is coming.
Yellow card shown to
That took me off guard a little bit. I wasn't expecting that.
Honestly, yeah. Free kick is just about underway.
I believe Owen.
Ref's just talking to one of the Livonia players.
I think Owen Rush is coming to take this one. See if he can curl it in with the right.
Here it comes. Banks off of Contreras, but too high as it goes over the goalpost.
Beautiful ball in. I believe instead of Owen Rush taking it, who set up as a dummy, it was going to be Christian Trunk. Had a great chance there. Couldn't find it. And I have one more segment for us during our hydration break. Noah, are you a bit of a UFC guy?
Oh, I am not a MMA guy whatsoever.
Oh, you're
UFC,
not?
combat sports,
Well,
whatnot.
huge announcement today as one of the legends of Ultimate Fighting competition. John Jones has announced his retirement. The guy that brought a lot of people to the sport is stepping away. He's going to step away from UFC. He's not going to have that last fight that everybody wanted him to have against Tom Aspinall to unify the heavyweight championship. So Tom Aspinall becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion. But let's find a better segment if you're not so much of a UFC guy after I take my hydration break, because I am still sweating.
Yeah, me too.
All right, that felt pretty good. I'm back. Needed that hydration break. So then if you're not a UFC guy, we've talked about NFL so far. What's another sport that's your go-to?
My go-to would be the NHL. NFL, NHL. That's like my hierarchy in terms of like
So who were you rooting for? Were you rooting for Florida like I was in hoping that America kept the cup away from Canada, or were you hoping Connor McDavid got his first cup?
I was actually more so rooting for McDavid to win his first cup because I think it's
Really?
criminal
Yeah.
that the best player in the whole world still does not have a cup. to
That's
his name.
very true, but I love the fact that it's
I mean,
their
yeah, it's so funny to see that Canada in a sport that is basically theirs,
oh, it's their sport, and they haven't won a cup.
and they haven't won a cup in 30 years.
They haven't
30
won a-
plus.
They haven't won since Montreal won it with a guy that's very well known to any Detroit Red Wings fan, and Patrick Waugh behind the net. I just think it's funny that Canada, it's their sport, they claim it is theirs, and they still can't win a cup, even with the best player in the world that we've seen since Wayne Gretzky.
Yep. I mean, it was a rematch. I wasn't super duper invested into the finals, mostly because obviously Red Wings weren't even in the playoffs that year, even when I was hoping they would be. But they did take a step back compared to how they were the year before.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing to watch this year. I was definitely frustrated.
But I would have loved to see McDavid win. Just that's the only positive, I guess, about a Canadian team winning the cup would be a guy like him.
Yeah.
Or Winnipeg, because Connor Hellebuyck is a Michigan native.
Yeah, love Connor Hellebuyck. Enough about hockey. Back to soccer.
All right. Kara Christensen has it now with the throw-in. He thinks about giving it to Shatar, who's back in, but ooh, right off the face of Colin Winters, he stumbles a bit and falls to the turf.
I'm not sure if he got pushed on that one or if he just straight up took it straight to the face.
I think he took it to the face.
Man, that's not something that you want on this day. Is another sub is Ali Ahmad coming into this one. I mean, trying to keep anybody fresh because it's a hot one, and you can't have somebody just suffering a bad injury that could take them out for the rest of the season.
It didn't look too bad. I mean, he did get hit in the face with a soccer ball, but I think he was able to laugh it off and get up pretty much immediately, thankfully.
Thank goodness.
All right, 78 minutes into the game. Lansing still up 2-0 as we are about into the waking moments of a resuming play after the hydration break. As Andy Ignatovich has it. There was a little gas right there. It looked like it could have been a potential handball, but no call right there as Ignatovich loses control and trips up a player of Livonia.
I'm a bit confused by the ref. It was quite clearly a handball.
It looked like it went off the arm of a player. Meanwhile, number 17 is just slithering his way, crisscrossing a couple of defenders as another player gets dropped to his knees as he tries to stop the ball, passes his cleat, and goes out of bounds. As Christensen gives it to Dylan Bott, who's back in now for Lansing. As Mason Winkle on the left side gets a pass off as they're crossing midfield now. Comes Holden to Ignatovich. Oh, that's Marcos, my bad.
Magic Man time.
Here's Winters. Now giving it over to Shatari, who's just back onto the field. Tries to go between two, but can't get it. Gets a shot, and it's blocked. Now racing with it now is Livonia, going right past Mason Winkle now. From left to right. Now back to the left. Ball's going to trickle over to Salace, as Salace corrals it in to reset and regroup. As we've reached the 80-minute mark, we got less than 10 minutes to go in regulation. Barring any stoppage time, Lansing has a 2-0 lead as Dylan Bott has it for the Robins. Big kick there over to Shatari. Now to Ignatovich. Now it goes backward. Oh, Shatia, not Shatari, Shatia.
You combine Blendy Jahiri and
Jahiri.
and Shatia there on that one. Like I've said all game, the heat is really playing a factor and it's screwing, even with the announcers' heads, I can only imagine what it is doing to those players' heads as they're trying to make quick decisions in split-second moments, whether to go with it, to pass, what to do, as it is really getting with my head up here.
Off the foot of a Bot. Ahmad looked like he had something, but it sailed over his cleats.
I'm going to dub him the Magic Man.
Who?
Ali Ahmad. I'm going to dub him the Magic Man. Anytime he gets a goal,
Anytime he gets a goal, he should play the heart song, Magic Man.
Yeah. I want him to start doing a little magician, like, I don't know what the right word is, but what a magician does with a wand and kind of gives it like the.
Just waves the wand and
Yes.
then casts a spell on the other team.
Yeah.
That forces him to score all the goals in the world.
All the most beautiful goals you've seen. I think he's the Magic Man.
Well, in this game, the magic isn't really there. Actually, the magic is bestowed upon Zach Holden, if anything. Two goals for that man.
Zach Holden, who's actually looks like he's coming back into this one. He's going to be a sub eventually.
Yeah, he's got Jonah Caldwell also right next to him. Looks like he's going to sub in as well. Meanwhile, Shatia has it. Goes right past Ignatovich. Here comes Ahmad. Isn't able to conjure up any goal right there as it goes out of bounds, but it is going to be a corner kick for Lansing. See if he can get some redemption there.
That would have been the opposite of the announcer's jinx right there if Ali Ahmad could have scored that one. After I just got done talking about him, saying that he was the Magic Man, and getting that one, that would have been beautiful timing.
Here comes the corner kick. Shatia is going to pass it to Ahmad. Let's see if he's got something here. He's racing in with a pass. Now Ignatovich with a shot. Blocked by the Livonia goalkeeper. No rebound attempt by Marcos as he is boxed out by Livonia. Now regrouping with it now is Lansing as the goalkeeper corrals it in. Solis over to Bot. Now Bot's able to get it right to past Contreras. Now over to Winkle. Now Winkle's gonna step forward. Tries to get it to the Mod, but it goes out as one of the ball rolls the ball to Ramad. And I didn't see the ref there. She's on the far end of the sideline. It's gonna be a throw in for Livonia.
During that little time when we were talking about the Magic Man and Ali Ahmad, and you brought up the fact that Zach Holden has shown the magic today, scoring 2 goals, who's coming back into this one. I wanted to bring up that last time that we had this, you were not here, but we had a player called Quinn Scott, and I really wanted him to score so I could get a goal call saying "Great Scott" from the movie Back to the Future. But beautiful call there, partner, on that one, saying that Zach Holden really has brought the magic in this one today.
Meanwhile, here as Contreras had it, lost it, still got it with his Christian trunk now. Just trying to slither his way around the Livonia defense. Nothing going there as we got less than 6 minutes to go in regulation as we've got a whistle blown.
Looked like Dylan Bott just had the hand too far out there. Not a natural position where the hand could be. It was an easy call for the official to give the handball.
Stolen by Shatia. Oh, he thinks about a pass, but he stops it almost immediately. Makes a man miss as he gives it behind him to Caldwell. Now they're just going to play with the ball a bit as he bounces over to Bott. Bott with a pass to Winters. Now Winters is going to give it over to Contreras. Contreras is going to go around to the left side to Christensen. Christensen thinks, gets a pass. Can't get it to Ahmad, stolen by Livonia. Goes right over to the defense. Now backing up with it now is Solis as Winkle's able to regain control of the ball as he passes it along. Now Contreras gets his share. Thinks of going to Winters, but instead he goes right to Christensen. Now Christensen over to Holden. Holden loses it as Livonia regains possession. Got about 4 minutes to go left in regulation. Lansing still holding on to a 2-0 lead here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium.
Go ahead, partner. My apologies.
Livonia's trying to generate some offense, but nothing's going. Meanwhile, here's Ahmad with it, racing with it. Now on the right side is Shatia. Shatia with it, tries to go for something. No, he's got it. Wide open lane, and is saved by Livonia. Meanwhile, they're going to kick it out of bounds to be a throw-in for Lansing.
I believe I have spotted in the left hand, on your left-hand side of your screen, that bottom corner, the man in the blue. I believe that is WLNS6. Getting some footage for this game, maybe appearing on your screen somewhere in the Lansing area soon. But excellent chance there. Ali Ahmad finding in Shatia. Shatia being able to work it through, even going off a challenge and staying with it. Had a great chance there to make it 3, put it way out of reach, but Livonia still has a little life in this one with 3 minutes of regular time, plus I believe about another 5 from the hydration breaks left in this one.
Yep, Livonia has it now. As Ahmad races to try and steal the ball, as Livonia kicks it far away over to midfield. Now they're going to try and go for something, go for an opportunity here. Christensen gets tangled up a bit. Contreras tries to steal it. Livonia still has possession of it. Here comes a shot, and it is blocked by Solis and out of bounds.
What a save there from Lazaro Solis. Really struggled with the footing there. He started slipping, just got enough of the outstretched arm there to push it to the left-hand side of his post. Excellent job there, staying aware, active, even though you may be coming down to the final minutes of this one, staying active, knowing that there's a chance coming.
Lansing's crowding the box here after that corner kick. Now here's a floater, and it is caught by Solis. Nice job there. Had a Livonia player right next to him. That was a little scary. Meanwhile, Shatia has it, gets a bounce off to Ahmad. Ahmad looking for something, but he's not able to make the magic happen as the ball is too far out of his reach and goes out of bounds.
I'm a little disappointed with Ali on that one. I thought he may have been able to get to it. I thought it was a little further ahead of him than he would have liked, but definitely could have ran for it. I'm sure the heat is playing some sort of factor, and it's making, I'm sure, everybody tired and kind of wanting this one to be done and wrapped up, especially on the Robbins side, but definitely could have gotten to that one, and I'm sure Coach Sorg will have a word with Ali on that one.
Less than 90 seconds to go in regulation here in this friendly matchup against Livonia. Lansing holding on to that 2-0 lead. We're about ready to start stoppage time as Livonia looks for something. Here comes another scoring chance here as number 6 gets pounced by a couple of Robins. That's Winkle and Contreras who are able to track him down. Meanwhile, Christensen is shadowing number 11, looking to stop, and he does. They regain it on offense. Here's Zach Holden. Let's see if he can get that hat trick here. We've been begging for it this entire second half. Bounces off of a Livonia player as Ahmad is shadowing him on the left side. He's going to try and maneuver around. Gets a pass off. Looked like he was going to give it to Christensen, but he can't get control of it as Livonia is ready to march its way to their offensive side. And number 16 with it on the left. Is he going to go for a shot? Nope, he's going to pass it. Goes right back to 16 as he angles onto the right side. Around with it now to the other 16, Christensen. It gets stopped by number 11, gets tangled up a little bit. About 15 seconds ago in regulation. Here comes a chance, and it is saved by Solis. Dives with it on the ground to stop it. About 8 seconds ago in regulation.
Beautiful 1-2 work there from Livonia, being able to create those chances. It just had a man cutting into the box who had time and space, who could have been able to finesse it with the left foot. Just put the pass behind him, and it really didn't work. Livonia still has time to try and salvage something from this one, but the clock is winding down on them, and any chance that doesn't end up in the back of the net, not in their favor.
And meanwhile, there's a ball was frozen there as number 13 was just had his head in between his legs, but he was just on the turf, like basically just holding it hostage, basically. And the ref stops the play and gives the ball to the possession of the Robins as we're about to hit the first minute of stoppage time. Dylan Bott's going to be the one that resumes play here for Lansing as he gives it right to Winkle. Now Winkle with a huge heave to Ahmad. He's wide open. Let's see if he can get it right here. He goes over to the right. Here comes a shot, and is stopped by Livonia.
I thought I had my hands up. Ali Ahmad was in. He had his time. He had a chance. He pulled back. Just not the shot that you really want on that one. Didn't get enough height on it. Didn't get enough curl that we've seen from him. Had a grade A chance there. Just couldn't afford to it. I'm sure that we can't speak enough about it. The heat is being a problem today.
It is starting to cool off a little bit as the sun starts to set here in Lansing, Michigan, our state capital. Ball goes out of bounds here. It's going to still be Lansing ball on the throw-in as Jonah Caldwell gets ready to do the honors.
We did this last game, Noah, and I think we should start making it.
Oh, here we come. Here comes Holden. Here comes the chance. And he just misses it. Oh, he had the hat trick right there, but it sails left of the goal. He could have made this a 3-0 ball game, but he's going to want that one back.
Yep, there's nothing else I can really add to that, partner. You got that all right. That was a grade A chance there for Zach Holden to clean up the hat trick, keep the match ball in that one. But it's time, as I was saying before that great chance for Zach Holden, we did this last time with our Vice President, Josh Pugh. Okay, nothing coming from that chance. We did this with Josh Pugh, and I think we should start doing this towards the end of every game if it seems as if it's kind of clear who's going to win. Who is your man of the match in this one, Noah?
I think this one's obvious. It's Zach Holden. 2 goals. Absolute dynamo on offense. He's had plenty of scoring chances in this second half, or altogether in the game, and he's been able to give the Robins this sizable lead against Livonia here in this friendly.
I'd have to agree with you, but to give a name that, besides the goal scorer, because it's quite easy to say that the goal scorer is the man of the match, I would have to say Amir Shatia. I believe it's his first time I've at least seen him play. He is really dazzled. He was the main contributor to the chances that were given to the Robins in this one. Nobody was able to capitalize on it, but Shatia and I believe Evan Marcos was the assist on the Zach Holden goal. So really offering that spark, but for Livonia, it's got to be the number 15 for them. He's played so well back there and really been the reason why they've been able to stay in this one.
Yeah, I can understand your point about that. I think it's more obvious in this case because Holden has multiple goals. Maybe if he only had like 1 goal,
yeah,
it would be a little bit more debatable. But I feel like in this scenario where you score more than 1 goal, you're the only one who has scored in this game. It makes sense why you'd be the man of the match.
Yeah, we had that last time where Jason Janowski scored the only goal, and it was quite of a lucky goal from Jason Janowski.
Meanwhile, here comes Ali Ahmad with a chance. Here comes a pass to Holden, and he does it! There it is! Ali Ahmad, like we said before, the magic man bestows his magic on the Holden, and he just picks up the hat trick right in the waning moments of stoppage time.
Speaking of hats, Coach Sorg throws his hat onto the field. He can't believe the fact that Zach Holden's got his hat trick. I think everybody's gassed from this one. It has been a long game. Zach Holden gets his hat trick, assisted by essentially the entire team trying to get him that goal. Unreal. Zach Holden finishes it off thanks to Ali Ahmad, the magic man, getting the assist. And he can hold on to that one, saying that he scored a hat trick in a semi-pro soccer game. Big one for Zach Holden, getting a nice round of applause from the crowd. And I still can't get over the fact that Coach Sorg just said, "Here, take my hat, Zach, take it."
I would throw my hat, but I'm all the way up here in the press box, and that would probably not get even to the. It wouldn't even get to the track at all. And that will do it here. Lansing Common wins this friendly matchup against Livonia, 3-0.
Are they calling the game, or are they calling a penalty?
It looked like they were calling the game. My bad.
No, they're calling they're calling a penalty, in what seems like such a unnecessary call.
I was gonna say, that's definitely unnecessary. The game's pretty much over, 3-0.
It wasn't very much too. The player went down pretty easily. Jonah Caldwell just gave a little bit of a shoulder or elbow in the back. What a disappointing way to end this one. What should be a high. Zach Holden just got his hat trick.
And here comes the penalty kick. First one so far in the season, friendly or not, that I've at least seen. I don't know about what happened when I was gone.
Nope, this is the first penalty.
All right, here it comes. Looks like number 18 will be the one that does the honors here. Let's see if Salace is able to knock it out. All right, he's setting up. Here he comes. Here's a shot, and it goes in. Ooh, that's a sour taste after that.
That is the first goal that we have conceded at home all season.
Yep, the crowd's not liking that one. I feel like that was more of a pity point right there, I guess, from the refs.
It essentially was. The Robins still win it 3-1, but it's definitely a sour note to end on, the fact that you
And
could
that will
have.
do it here at the Lansing Eastern Stadium. Not a great way to end the game, but fortunately for us, Lansing Common goes out on top 3-1 thanks to the hat trick by Zach Holden. We'll be back here on Sunday
Yep.
as we resume league play. Before that, I'm Noah Stalker, and Josh Lee on my right at color. I was on play-by-play. We will see you next week.